Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Wally of the Jackson County Library Services. I'm the children's librarian here in the Medford branch, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about picture books. I love a good picture book. I think one of the things that brought me into library profession, but into children's librarianship in particular, was the quality of art that I found in the picture book collection that I had way back in the beginning of my career. And as I've marched forward, watching the artists of the day unfold, it still astounds me, how beautiful so many of our picture books are. I started off as a young reader of comic books, and I loved the combination of good story and powerful art. And I think that's one of the things that's a great benefit to picking up and sharing picture books with your children, your grandchildren, the people that these young people that you watch and take care of. There's studies that talk about the power and effect of words and art, and combined in how they work different sides of the brain. I think that's pretty powerful message in itself, just knowing that unlike just gazing at a piece of art or just picking up a chapter book, you're getting a chance to stimulate a whole brain. So a good picture book is a whole brain activity. Who would have thought? When my kids were young, I was given the task of attending a monthly meeting where we got a chance to review picture books and other titles, and it sparked up a really bad habit of going to bookstores and buying titles that I couldn't afford, but I had to have. You don't have to buy books new. You don't have to go through Amazon. You can go to thrift stores and to the Friends bookstore. You can go to garage sales, but my only suggestion is amass them. Have them around the house. The kids grow up, certainly, and some or most you can end up getting rid of. But as you go on in this world, as your children do, as they grow up, as you have grandchildren or you have kids that you're taking care of and they come around, it's nice to have a good picture book or 5 or 10 that represent your artistic tastes. The stories sometimes aren't as powerful as the art contained therein. But if you have the two together, fantastic. One of the things that I want to point out is this little mark here that you'll find on the cover of a book. This is a mark that says, wow, this book is really great. This is the Caldecott Medal Award. And I highly recommend that when you're browsing the stacks and you come across a book with this little symbol on it, that you grab it. It's awarded once a year to a top flight illustrated picture book, and it just says a lot about the quality of the book that you're about to read. And this one that I'm holding up is about as timeless as it gets. I just think that there's certain artists that just stand apart, or certain titles that are just they're desert island kind of material. This is the one that one of the books you want to take with you. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. This particular book chronicles, just a night in the life of a little boy named Max, and his imagination runs wild. He's been wild all day, and then in his room a forest grew, and it grew and it grew. And he sailed off in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. Well, I don't think there's a kid in the world who doesn't wish for that opportunity to escape into a place where people or animals or whatever have you are as wild as they are. But what's even better about this is that it resolves beautifully, and he comes home at the end of his incredible adventure to find his dinner still waiting for him, and the dinner is still hot. I love this book to death. I use it as often as I can. It's timeless. Another author an artist that I love beyond words is David Weisner. This particular book, Tuesday, was an award winner, and I just love the watercolors the ink and pencil drawings turned into these magnificent, dreamlike illustrations of the night when the frogs in their lily pads make their way through the skies of this neighborhood. This book is wordless, so you get to become the storyteller. You get to become the narrator. I had a book that I shared with my boy William, and it was wordless, little itty bitty thing. Boy goes off to the mushroom planet, and every time we told it, the story was different. And talk about connectivity. The Weisner book, will allow for that. But even if you have a book as powerful, say, as Chris von Allsburg's The Polar Express, you don't have to go entirely with a story. You may pick up a book and share it with your kids, and you might find that that the language is still a little large. You can trim it down. You can find ways of making it accessible. There's nothing more accessible in the mind of the child as that voyage, that journey to the North Pole. This little boy and his journey on the Polar Express and how he comes across that bell, but later on develops a different kind of relationship with hearing things, the things that he heard as a child. It speaks in loud, large language. That the world of a child is so much different than ours as an adult. Powerful stuff, way up there, kind of like Peter Pan. Read it.